Hello, and welcome to Anime Audio Commentary. Today I'll be commenting on episode 14 of Code Geass R2. If you'd like to watch along, then start watching now. So last we left off, Lelouch is in a bit of a tenuous situation because, on the one hand, he's brought Lord Jeremiah on side through their shared history, but on the other hand, Shirley has been shot and killed, likely by Rollo. So, at this point in time, I think it's pretty fair for Lelouch to, rather than let Rollo just twist in the wind, to just nail him to the wall. Really teach him a lesson here, because, Shirley certainly didn't deserve this. Geass Hunt. So that's an interesting title. I get the feeling that Lelouch is likely gonna just really go after Rollo, and frankly, it would be entirely deserved at this point. And I guess with a new ally in Lord Jeremiah, perhaps Lelouch could actually, settle things. Okay. So this is interesting. I guess we're seeing the Emperor as he was younger. And, it's interesting that he's there, as is V2 and C2 and Lelouch's mother, but that they would sort of make a pact to slay God, that's, that seems kind of futile. So it's interesting that Rollo's trying to play this up hey, I was doing you a favor, she was heading after you with a gun. I mean, I think we know that Shirley didn't actually intend to do anything. She certainly could have done something, but she didn't, as she was dying. So it's kind of remarkable that Lelouch is just sort of not doing anything. I feel like he should. Alright, so he's saying look, we're gonna take decisive action now. I'm wondering if this is how he's going to let Rollo just twist in the wind, or hang out to dry. I mean, he seems like he's sort of playing on Rollo's insecurities, you're not scared of V2, are you? And I feel like the correct answer should be yes, there's something up with V2. We don't know much about the guy. So, now we're following up with Cornelia. So obviously she's been imprisoned, but she is an interesting character in that she's given up a whole lot of stuff to try and prove Euphemia innocent. Ooh. Alright, so people are telling fibs and stuff that, Shirley shot herself. I guess that would be the official story. I mean, obviously Suzaku, I don't think he's fully buying this. And I get the feeling he's probably gonna sort of put 2 and 2 together here and assume Lelouch is involved, if not at fault. And I suppose that is sort of the truth, but I don't know. I feel like nothing good's gonna come from this. Man, so Nina's just having a rough go of things. Like, I feel like her life just continues to go from bad to worse. I mean, sure, she has more status now, but it's not really improving her life in any meaningful way. Alright, you know what? As gloomy and as sad as this episode has been, there is now Pizza Hut. Everything is good once again. Okay, so Lelouch is like really serious about military action. You know, he's sort of zeroed in on where the cult is, and now, like, it's time to just go, you know, curb stomp him, I guess. I get the feeling that despite, you know, fortune favoring the bold and all that, he might not succeed here, you know. I wonder if he's acting out of anger more than we would initially assume, because I've sort of been given to understand he's generally pretty level-headed, but it really does seem like he's acting out of anger. And it's not that I don't understand it, I certainly do, but, ooh. So it's interesting that he's now sort of taking this out on C2 a little bit. You know, I don't blame him, but, yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear that, like, she's not really aligned with the cult. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Lelouch really is emotionally compromised, because if I were in his position, I'd be at least trying to keep C2 on side by not sort of tacitly threatening her until things were, you know, well and truly taken care of. Huh. That really is an interesting exchange where C2 still doesn't seem to be fully devoted to Lelouch, you know. She's definitely got her own angle here, whatever that is. Alright, so here's the new wrinkle. You know, Jeremiah was ostensibly working for the cult, but after meeting Lelouch and sort of coming to an understanding, it's like, look, you know, I must serve my liege. And, you know, since the Emperor and this cult were involved in killing my charge, to hell with them. And you know what? I appreciate it. You know, initially, when I was watching, like, the first few episodes of Code Geass, I sort of assumed that Jeremiah would be, like, something of a punching bag antagonist, where he keeps showing up over and over again, and Lelouch just, like, keeps beating him every time, further disgracing him. But I think I like the idea more that Jeremiah was, you know, sort of disgraced, but, like, due to essentially a misunderstanding, he and Lelouch are now on the same side. And, you know, they didn't even really have to, like, argue things out. It's more like, you know, okay, you are the exiled son of the lady I was charged to protect and failed to do so, so my loyalties lie with you. Oh, come on, Lelouch, a fake set. That's something. You know, I guess it worked to distract V2, but boy, that seems almost a little too pedestrian. So, you know, I said maybe Lelouch wouldn't succeed here, but he's really just putting everyone to the sword. So, yeah, I don't know. Ooh. You know, to talk about disciplining Marianne's child and then immediately cutting to Nunnally, this doesn't bode well for her, you know. Because Nunnally is still effectively under the thumb of the Empire, as is Kellen at this point. I get the feeling something bad's gonna happen. You know, that was an ominous cut. So, it's interesting that Kellen's bringing up her brother after so long. I'm wondering if she's gonna try and use that as a lever to sort of influence Nunnally somehow. Because I wouldn't put it past her to sort of try and effect an escape by doing that. But at the same time, you know, where would she go after that? So, it seems as though the Black Knights were slightly misinformed about what their mission is. You know, they sort of understood this to be a military installation, but so far as they can tell, they're just slaughtering civilians. And Zero is couching this in terms of, like, you know, they're messing around with life and immortality and all that, so, like, just for the fact that this is a moral abomination, we need to destroy everything here. So it's like, I can kind of buy that argument, but I feel like, I don't know, for the rank-and-file trooper who's probably none too pleased about killing people who can't fight back, you know, I feel like Lelouch could probably put a little bit more thought into how he's gonna handle this. Ooh. So yeah, this is a wrinkle indeed. People begging C2 for help only for them to be gunned down. I mean, I can't imagine C2's too broken up about it, but, you know, there's gotta be something optically going on where if someone were to witness such a thing, you know, they might have second thoughts about her loyalties. And it really only makes sense because, like, she's clearly playing a game on another level here. Something else is going on. Okay, so it seems like while this is going on, they've been busy pacifying Saudi Arabia and making allies with Italy and Poland. You know, I guess that's good, in a sense, that the United State of Japan would have so many allies on side. Ooh. So that's interesting. You know, there's seemingly dissension in the ranks, and I guess the idea here is that Ogi might be a little suspicious. It does make sense in a way, because of all the Black Knights, he did seem to be the most morally upstanding, generally speaking. So, I don't know. I get the feeling something's gonna happen. Probably an internecine squabble. And it's not gonna be a good thing. Oh dear. So I guess it's already beginning now. You know, the soldiers, despite being told to kill civilians, you know, like, obviously, it's hard to stomach that, but I guess all these people have Geasses of their own, so, yeah, making eye contact like that was kind of a mistake, and I guess this guy's gonna pay for it. Yeah, there's no real good explanation for what's going on here, and unfortunately it's gonna cause distrust and, confusion. Okay, so I guess Rilla's really going for it. You know, he just went for it and killed them all. And then I guess killed that guy too. That's something, you know. And I guess that is an interesting little note here, that a Geass goes away if the caster of it dies. Alright, so that's a little bit of confirmation. You know, Lelouch is prepared to kill Rollo here, but, ooh. Okay, so I guess V2's just getting involved directly, which is, interesting. So I guess it's even more interesting in that that's formerly Jeremiah's machine. You know, last we saw it in action, C2 had sort of like dragged it down with her, down beneath the ocean. And, you know, we can assume nothing really came of that, even if we didn't see what happened. So I guess the question is what now? So it seems like V2's deliberately trying to prick Lelouch's pride here by bringing up Marianne deliberately. Ooh, okay. So it seems like Jeremiah is unswervingly loyal no matter what. You know, that's nice. I think I really do like him a lot more, having heard that. Just because it's like, you know what, yeah, I did hate Zero, but if Zero's my rightful lord and master, then that's all there is to it. Ooh. So that's what Suzuki wanted to talk about Callan about. Someone who murdered Shirley, and I guess, naturally he assumes it to be Lelouch. Like, we all know that's not true, but I'm wondering if Suzaku can get Callan on his side, because I don't think she would necessarily do that, but something like the murder of Shirley, that would do it if anything could. So Lelouch is playing a dangerous game here, essentially hoping to take out V2 and Rollo in one fell swoop. Although, it seems like he might not get the chance now if V2's just gonna leave and escape to the European Union. Ooh. So that's interesting. He's sort of declaring victory conditions here, that if he can escape, then, you know, that's it then. They sort of win. Ooh. That's a nifty little bit of information. Rollo's heart stops when he uses the Geass, so I guess, presumably if he uses it too long, then he would just die. Oh darn. You know, I guess Lelouch's plan is, not going as he had hoped. You know, it would have been nifty for him to just blow up Rollo and V2 in one fell swoop, but I feel like, it's just not in the cards, you know? Cornelia wants to get involved, understandably so. You know, I'd imagine she has some umbrage against V2. But the real question is, will she align herself with Lelouch? I feel like she wouldn't necessarily be willing to do that, but if, I don't know, if she doesn't know it's Lelouch, then I suppose she would be willing. You know, the most important thing is, avenging Euphemia, after all. Alright, so, this clearly isn't the end of V2, you know, like, he obviously can't die, but the question is, does Rollo survive this episode? I certainly hope not, you know, I'm hoping if nothing else, you know, suppose Lelouch does take care of C2 or V2 rather, for the time being. I'm hoping he just, you know, flips the switch on Rollo anyways. Alright, so Suzaku's saying, like, look, I know all the evidence says Lelouch is innocent, but I think he's guilty anyways. And I guess Suzaku is right about him being Zero, but, that's not what happened, It's also interesting that he's bringing Refrain with him. I guess the idea that you can relive good memories. Presumably, Callan would have good memories of Lelouch. Specifically him as Zero. So that's, kind of a cunning ploy, invoking the use of narcotics for something like this. I feel like it's probably not a good long-term strategy, because it seemed as though there were 2 doses. Ooh. I'm wondering if Charles and V2 are going to have a bit of a falling out here. Because Charles certainly has no love for Lelouch that I know of, but the idea that V2 sent an assassin after him, seemingly behind his back, that's probably not going to play too well with the Emperor, And I guess if that weren't enough, it seems like morale is kind of low among the Black Knights. Understandably, they're wondering if it was truly necessary to kill a bunch of children. Unfortunately, it was, but that doesn't prevent Lelouch from getting Geassed. The question is, what happens now? What is the Emperor's Geass do, and to what effect? Can he use a Geass on Lelouch more than once? Alright, well that's it for this episode. If you've enjoyed it, then by all means, tune in for the next one. See you, Space Cowboy.